nobody comes and sees us right now. Alright, that works.
Does everyone from work watch
Jason, you're getting
this?
fat.
Dude, I know. I'm trying to lose it. Like, I lost like 10 pounds and then I gained it all back.
Crazy. Alright.
It's alright, most of it went to like my legs, though,
And thighs.
which is what I wanted.
Alright, this is like recording really loud. Is it recording?
See, so maybe if I was a girl, I would have a big butt. I often wonder that. I'm like, would I be thick?
Damn it. Get out of your fucking mouth.
Which one's that one's name?
Make a bath.
Oh yeah.
Alright. So, this is going to be quite a different, I'm recording too, quite a different podcast. We are live this time. First video. But I'm here with Jason Lugo. He is a local boxer, future professional boxer here. But, so how long have you been boxing? Like, how long has it been like a thing that you like to do?
A solid 9 years, like coming up on 10.
And then what actually got you into it? Was it like a person? Was it your mother? Who was it?
My mother. No, it was my friend Eddie from back home.
Mm.
He was like a childhood friend that I grew up with.
Yeah.
And what?
No, keep
Oh,
going.
okay. Yeah, so yeah, we had grown up together, and then in high school, my freshman year, he kept finally like telling me like, dude, you should just come to the boxing gym with me. You should come to the boxing gym with me. And so finally, I was like, fine, I'll fucking go. So we went, and then like the whole time he was just doing his thing, and I was like, oh, okay, you're not gonna like show me around. So I started talking to like the other guys and all that, and then this one kid there was like, showing me around and showing me his trainer, and I was like, okay, cool. So then I showed up the next day, and then that's when we kind of got started, and then from there I just never stopped. I just kept going, like I never stopped not going.
And this is like, you said 9 years ago, so probably like 16. How old are you? 23?
No, 24.
What? So you're about 18?
No, it was when I was 15.
I knew I was going to say that. That was my next guess.
Yeah.
But go ahead. So, and then did you feel like you were like drawn to it? Did you felt like you were out of place at all? Were you good from the beginning kind of thing?
It kind of reminds me of like a Karate Kid kind of thing, because in the beginning it moved really slow, and like, I don't know, it was never like I was like drawn to it, or like I was like, this is my thing all of a sudden. It was just a gradual thing that happened, and yeah, like going back to the Karate Kid thing, where it was a slow process. Like the beginning of me learning how to box was such a slow process, because I would show up there and like for like a week straight I was like just learning how to walk, just back and forth.
You said walk?
Yeah.
What's the difference between regular walking and boxing walking?
Well, because you got to get in your stance, you got to have your hands up, and the way you have your feet positioned, yeah. And like that took me forever to learn. I think, I don't know, but yeah, spent like a whole week just doing that.
So prior to you getting into yourself, did you watch boxing? Did you were like inspired by any boxers?
No, I didn't watch boxing at all. Like here and there when there was the big like Floyd fights.
Yeah.
But, like,
what about wrestlers? Any wrestlers?
Nah, I didn't even watch wrestling. I knew it was fake before everybody knew it was fake. I was like, what?
But so you didn't. That's weird. So the guy, do you still talk to the friend that got you into boxing?
Yeah, I still
okay, well then that's still good.
Yeah.
That's weird, because like normally a person would be more into fighting, wrestling, stuff like that. Were you on the wrestling team?
No. But I don't know. It's because like I was always like super into like fighting though, like in my mind, you know. Because I was always watching anime
Ghost
and
fight.
stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
So I would always like play fight.
I can see that with like your brothers. And they're
Yeah.
you have twin brothers. How old are they?
16.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you weren't play fighting with them.
I was. I was.
Like 10 years old.
And they
No.
would just always cry.
Crazy. So they, like recently, have you? I know that you have some scars right now. Was that a match or was it just training?
Just training, yeah.
Tell me about that.
So
Who
this
punched
happened.
you? Who cut you?
This happened on Thursday, yeah. And I was and this always happens too whenever like my trainer wants me to like do some like crazy shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like so normally to avoid these like, you know, my knuckles getting cut up, I would like put Vaseline on my knuckles,
Yeah, so
on
it
my
slide.
hands.
So it
And
slides over easier.
Yeah, and then I would put my wraps on. But no, this time, like, I really hadn't because I was like, it hasn't happened to me in a while. But then today, or the Thursday, he had me doing like 100 punches on the mitts.
Mm-hmm.
But it was like 100 punches, and then we would just keep going from there. For
So like it was like rubbing raw, basically.
Yeah, it was just
okay.
they kept rubbing. Yeah, but we were doing that for like 4 rounds, just nonstop. So that's like 12 minutes straight.
Fuck that.
Yeah.
I hate to be told what to do. That's why I can't do stuff like that. Honestly. But so have you? When was your last match?
It's been a long time. It's been like a year ago already. Like, I want to say like September 2019.
That's a good while.
Yeah.
Now, did you win? Hopefully, you won.
I think I lost that one.
Fucking suck.
I was supposed to fight last May, but then
May 2020.
Yeah.
This is prior to everything going on.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So then COVID happened, and then actually it was supposed to be March 2020, but then they moved it to May.
Yeah.
And then everything happened.
Damn. How do you think that would have won? I mean, would you have won? How do you think that would have went?
I don't know. That's a tricky one because I know the guy was like really tall. I think he was like 6'2" or something.
And you were gonna box him?
Yeah.
I thought, isn't it like a weight thing, classification?
Yes, I mean we were both gonna weigh the same.
Was he like super skinny?
I think so.
See, I just clipped him at the legs.
So I think I definitely had a good chance, and I was training really hard for it at the time.
Maybe. So his reach wouldn't have been a problem for you.
Well, sometimes it's like, if you have too much, it's like a problem.
Yeah, because you're gonna be open, like your ribs be fucked up. But
because I fought tall guys before like that.
Oh, really? But but so how has? I'm sure it's drastically changed, but has COVID changed the way like training's done, tournaments are ran, things like that? Have you noticed anything?
Yeah, for sure. Like there's not really any amateur fights going on anymore, whereas before it was like every month.
Yeah.
Training, is kind of like a little difficult because you never know when the gym's gonna get closed down. One day you go to the gym and it's like closed until who knows when. So you gotta go to another gym that you know of.
You're talking about boxing gyms.
Yeah, boxing.
Is
gyms.
Mayweather? That's the one you're at, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mayweather boxing. Is that one still open?
Yeah, but that one's like kind of up and down because they're open and then they would only kind of stay open for like their close in guys,
Oh, okay. It's like,
which I was a part of.
Oh, okay.
But I mean, recently, like during Thanksgiving, like it like closed, even to like their inner guys.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So then it just kind of barely opened back up, like a couple weeks ago.
Oh shit. So how do you think that because I've been seeing some emails and things like that we're kind of slowly moving back into not normal, but I would say opening back up, people going back to work more. How do you see that benefiting you as a boxer? Like with everything coming back to normal, do you think that you're ready to get back to what you've been doing?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I'm still training all the time. I never really like stopped. Well, I did for a little bit, but I've been at it pretty frequently. Yeah, I think it will help, because with the vaccines and all that's gonna be more safer, and then hopefully, going back to work and all that, maybe I'll be in a better routine of things, because
Yeah.
me just not doing anything all day is making me so lazy.
What have you been doing?
Literally nothing. Like it gets so boring sometimes because nothing. I've just been trying to do like the trading thing and all that, and just boxing, and really that's only it.
So,
And
going into the trading part, what is that? Can you just like give me however long it needs to be, discussion about like what foreign trading is, like foreign exchange trading, because it could be overwhelming for some people, and then some people just don't get it because too many numbers, too many graphs, stuff like that. But what is it basically?
Well, so it's basically you're just trading like currencies against each other. So basically, like let's say you were to go to Mexico right now, and you were to exchange your dollars for pesos, and that's basically like Forex right there already, and the way it works is it's a little difficult to describe in my head. I'm not the best like describer of it because I always kind of forget, but the way it kind of works is like, let's say when you're trading in your dollars for pesos, when you're hold on, this is like tricky to describe. Yeah,
we're at the exchange post.
But basically, like if you're trading in let's say the dollar amount is like super high, the US dollar is super high when you're exchanging it for pesos, and then you come back and you exchange those same pesos for dollars again, and let's say the dollar crashed, you would make money off that exchange.
Right.
I don't know if I explained it very well, but it's kind of like that.
I get it, but why is, for one thing, why is the value different at any point at any time? Do you know that? Like, why does it go up and down? For like, let's say it was $1 to the peso is 10 at this point, whatever it is, and why when you trade it at a certain time of the day, why does it change? Like, why is it going up and down?
Yeah. Okay. So basically, it's going up and down for a lot of different reasons. Like stocks, how they go up and down. Like when something big happens in the news, you'll hear, "Oh my God, the stocks are dropping," and that's basically the same thing with the currency. It drops because of things that happen in the news. It drops because the banks are manipulating the currencies. With their trading also.
Does it also involve the money flow that is like happening in that day? Like how much money is being spent, how much money is being paid out to people?
Yeah, definitely. Like probably during Christmas, it's a lot more like crazier.
Because it's like the whole Black Friday idea.
Yeah, a lot more spending.
Things are spending. Yeah. So would that be a time to focus on exchanging currency
during Christmas time?
Yeah, like major seasons, stuff like that, like Easter, Valentine's Day, Christmas, that kind of stuff.
I'm not sure because I'm not that like knowledgeable of it yet. Because I know that times times during the election, for example, they were just telling us not to trade. Yeah. Because the markets were just too unpredictable.
Yeah, it was like stagnant. Were they stagnant or what do you mean unpredictable? Like too up and down or too?
Yeah, it was like too up and down. Like, cause there's typical trends and rules that these that it follows, and during times like that, like the election when crazy things happen, it just totally disrespects like those trends and those rules that you see that that are already established.
Yeah, and it's like free for all basically. And then so if a person were to, I know you're not going to Mexico to trade your dollars for pesos. How would a person start doing that?
Okay, so there's different brokers online that you can go to, like IQ Cent, Pocket Option. where you can just go and you can trade your money there like that. You just put in $100, they'll match you. They'll match you 150% of that actually on IQ
Who?
Cent.
Spell it out.
So it's IQ and then cent CENT.com.
Okay. And they match 150.
150%. Yeah.
Interesting.
So if you put in 100, you'll get 250 to trade with.
So if you put in 5, you'll get. What was that?
Oh,
12?
no.
Or is it only for the 100?
I think it only starts at
capped for the
100.
100.
Yeah.
Okay. I was like, shit, it's good. But okay, and then is that the one you mainly use?
Yeah, that's the one I mainly use. I use the other one, Pocket Option, also.
Yeah.
And what's cool about them is that you can have a demo account.
Yeah.
So
I use that one.
yeah, right.
Wasted all that $1,000.
So it gives you a really nice feel for how it works, and you get to see like, oh, it's not really that complicated.
Yeah. When I was doing it, I did notice like, obviously because I didn't care about, because it was a fake $1,000. Like I was just literally just throwing it at the what would you call that? What are they called? They're not called stocks. They're called. What would the moment you purchase be called?
Oh, I think that would be. I'm not too sure, but like that line, right?
Yeah, the line that you create. I was just clicking it and clicking and clicking it. Some of them would go through because like I obviously could see that it was rising, but what kind of stopped me from continuing to put my money in it was the fact that I saw that $1,000 go that fast.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I was like, okay, that kind of scared me. But how do you do it? What would be your strategy to like, if you were to open your account right now, what would you start doing?
So for me, what makes it really easy is so the what's it called? How do I say it? You know, where I started learning how to trade from was actually through an academy called I Am Academy. And you know, through there they teach you not only how to trade Forex, but I'm also learning how to trade like cryptocurrency like Bitcoin right now. So through there they have their different like scanners and things like that, and they have this really cool tool that I use called Hourglass. And so what that is basically like an AI, and it tracks the price movements, and it'll give you an up arrow or a down arrow, and that'll tell you like where the market's gonna go, you know.
And this is predictive, or it's something separate from the trading brokers that you use.
It works with it.
Okay.
Yeah, but it is separate.
Okay.
It is separate, and so what's cool about that is that kind of helps you out with the trading, and I think other traders do it too on their own. There's different like types of like charts that you look at that give you the same thing, but it's cool because they're automatically, when you're trading and you're not looking at anything, you have a 50% chance of winning that trade, you know. So right there, it's kind of like gambling.
Yeah.
But with looking at those charts and with the AI technology that predicts it and tells you kind of like where the market's gonna go, that kind of increases your chances. They've said up to like 80%.
Okay.
Yeah, and so that's basically what I use. And they also have a cool other option, which is like they have their live educators on there, and what they're doing is they're trading with you. So they're going live and they're using their own money and they're trading like with you guys, and it's cool because that's how they make their money. So.
Right. So you're watching them. This is the I Am Academy.
Yeah.
Does it cost money, or is it like subscription? Yeah.
So it costs money, definitely. Then there's different like types of packages that you can get. Right now I'm on their elite package, and that comes with like learning how to do the Forex and the crypto and HFX, which is what I trade. HFX is just high frequency Forex, so I think that one's just a little bit more quicker.
Yeah.
And so but basically, through them you can recruit people in like under your team and all that, and have like a team, so that kind of like offsets your subscription.
Yeah. So, and then when you first got into it, so we work at the same place, and I walked by where you normally work at, and you weren't there. So, like, did you just start with like your last checks there and just kind of like have that roll over? Like, is it that um, easy to do? Like that you actually like were able to quit your job and like do that like full time?
Yeah, I mean, definitely if you put in the work, you know,
Yeah.
like they're definitely not promising you anything, you know.
Yeah.
Um, it's like with everything else, it's like the amount of work that you put in is
Yeah.
what you'll see, you know. So definitely, yeah, if you put in the work, you know, you can live off of it because all the other people that got me into it were my age and they didn't have, you know, full time jobs or
Right.
anything.
I wish we had like a way to do a demo right now.
Oh, for everybody to see.
Yes. Well, one person. No, we're the one person, but.
Well, I think the markets aren't open on the weekends.
I thought they were. I thought they weren't open on only Sunday.
They're closed on Saturdays.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they close early on Fridays and then they open on Sundays.
Oh, okay, open Sundays and they close Saturday.
Mhm.
Interesting. But, what do you want to talk about? That's all I had for you.
Let's go back to
Yeah,
boxing.
I was going to say that.
I love talking
So,
about boxing.
when I first met you, I thought somebody was beating you up. It was like, like black eyes and shit. I was like, and then I was like, oh, he's a boxer. That makes sense now.
Mhm.
But like, what do you see yourself going as a boxer? Like, have you looked into getting an agent, things like that, like a sports manager?
Not yet. Like, definitely that would be cool though, if I were to have one. You know, I definitely wanted to be pro by now. But, you know, hopefully I can just do it as soon as I can. Hopefully, you know, before this year ends, and I've been saying that for the past 3 years.
Yeah.
But yeah, hopefully, you know, before this year ends for sure. You know, I did want to do it in 2020, and then I got COVID, and that kind of ruined everything.
Oh yeah, you did.
Yeah.
That's when I was like, actually, when you got it, I was like, oh my god, it's real.
Yeah, for real. It's like, it was so embarrassing to get it because I was like,
The first one.
I got it, yeah, before everybody started getting it, really, you know.
I still ain't got it.
Yeah, so
I wish I did. It's like.
and then I felt like the guy that was like, I was like the friend that people were like, yeah, my friend has had it.
Oh shit!
You know?
Like trying to avoid. I remember that. I was just like scared to hang around David and shit. That shit was hilarious.
I'm surprised he didn't get it.
Too much. We're not scientists.
Yeah.
We really don't know.
Well, because me and him even shared a drink.
Oh yeah, but who knows? You never even know what part of it, what contagiousness level you were until you really got sick and you had to go to the hospital. But beyond that, you may not have been contagious. You know what I mean? It could have just been in you. Like, but I don't know. It's so weird.
Well, because I did infect somebody else.
You.
I did, yeah. But they didn't get it as bad as me.
That's also one I like. It's not that I wanted to go get it because I was like, I hate being sick, but I did want to see what it was like. Was it like? I know you went to the hospital. Was it that serious?
Yeah, because I had pneumonia with it.
Oh, right.
So I know that everybody that gets, you know, COVID pneumonia, they're like on death's door, basically. They're ventilators, they're ventilated up and all that crazy.
Yeah.
Thankfully, you know, I didn't get COVID.
Did you think that would ruin your boxing career?
For a second there, yeah, I
Like,
did. I was scared for a little bit because I was like, I immediately like. My first day staying in the hospital, I was like, fuck. I was like, I hope I don't have to get a lung transplant.
That would be crazy.
I was like, I hope I don't have like lung scarring. I was scared. I was like, you know, so I was kind of like walking on eggshells too, because even when I got out of the hospital, like cleaning my room, I was out of breath.
Yeah.
So I was like, how the fuck am I gonna do sprints? Yeah.
But how long did that last? Like the inability to breathe and stuff like that.
Like.
Still dealing with it. So.
No, not anymore. I would say from like, because I got sick in June, so I would say from June to like September.
Oh, okay.
Is when it, how long it lasted. Like June to August was bad, for sure. September was me getting over it already.
Yeah.
And also because I was pushing myself too. I was still walking around, like doing exercises, running.
Yeah.
So
I
I kind of
told everybody to do, because my mother had, I was like, you need to keep walking, just keep walking around.
yeah, and I for a lot of people when they don't have to do that, they're
Yeah.
not gonna do it. And me, like I had to do it, so
Mhm.
I think that helped a lot. I think me just being a box in general, because even when I noticed I was sick, like that night I was like I did 100 floors on the stairmaster. I
Yeah.
was still doing sprints, so I think like being a boxer saved me.
Yeah.
Yeah, for
Right,
sure.
and especially if you had it that severely with pneumonia.
Mm-hmm.
But so that kind of brings me to the next part. I was going to say, what do you think that boxing teaches you,
Mm-hmm.
like you specifically, and then like what do you think other people get from it?
Me specifically, I guess definitely it did teach me like about discipline for sure, because I was like there in high school going every day to the boxing gym when I didn't have to.
Right.
I was there fighting I was fighting fights when I didn't have to. Like nobody was pushing me to do this but myself. Even now I'm here, a whole states away from where I lived. Still boxing,
Yeah.
and no one's like forcing me to go but myself. So I think it teaches, generally everyone that gets like serious about it, discipline, to like stick with something. Because that was my problem before. I had never stuck with anything before. And when I started doing this, I was like, like this is gonna be my thing. I want to like make sure I stick to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's kind of what it taught me. I think for everyone else, the same thing, discipline and just hard work and things like that. Definitely.
I said that I don't think that I have discipline. I think I do, but it's a different kind.
Yeah.
But I think because I used to swim, so that was like okay, but I still don't like, even with that. Oh, do you want some?
No, just like
I didn't put it there for us to drink it.
Or maybe.
But like I didn't like to be told what to do. Like, don't tell me to do 10 laps. What if I want to do 8?
Yeah.
Like, it just makes me feel weird. Or I can't like. And then I would hope that this is not a thing with boxers and stuff like that. But I would imagine seeing like like the attitude of like Floyd Mayweather or something. If everybody acted like that, I would not be interested in doing it for long. Like, so I just don't. But do you think that that's a thing? Like this like attitude of I can beat up anybody is like a thing that's prevalent as boxers?
It's very. I see that. Yeah, I do see it. I don't know. Actually, for the most part, people don't act like that.
Really?
Yeah, boxers don't act like that for the most part. I would say a good 70%, 75% don't act like that. I'll give it. 25% of the other guys do. But for the most part, and I think being in the gym and sparring with people and in this game you're gonna get your ass kicked.
Some point.
At some point, and that does kind of humble you. So I think that plays into why people don't walk around like I can just fucking.
Yeah, everybody. Are the people the 25% that do you say do that? Are they winning or are they not even boxing?
Let's see. They're winning. They are. It's and it's so few and far between that I can't even think of anybody specifically, unless they're like one of the higher known guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like I've never really known anyone like at my level, I guess.
What do you mean?
Like people that were like starting out, like regular people,
like with that attitude.
Yeah, with that kind of attitude. So maybe it's more like 90% of them don't act like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. See, that may resolve some of my issues. I still wouldn't do it though, because I like to be punched. I'd be very upset. I'd probably stop boxing. So what was your worst injury? Or what was your worst, like, I know black eyes, stuff like that. Have you ever broken anything? Any fingers, toes?
That's actually a good question. The worst boxing injury. Definitely, I would probably say like I've never had anything like serious or long term before where I was like, oh fuck. I definitely one time comes to my mind was a fight like a long time ago that I had. I think I had already graduated and there you go. Yeah, I had already graduated, and this was a Golden Gloves fight.
Yeah.
And back then, I actually didn't even care about weight classes. I would just show up, and whatever I fucking weighed, I would fight. So I think I ended up fighting in the 150 division, in the like 147 to like 153 division.
And what are you normally in?
Normally, now I know I fight in like 130, 135.
Ooh. Get some hair on that chest.
Oh yeah. So yeah, that was like a huge step for me. And I remember the guy I fought. He was definitely bigger than me for sure, and I won that fight. Surprisingly, but that fight fucked me up because afterwards I was in the locker room and I felt like dog shit. Like I had a fucking headache.
Yeah.
My hands were shaking. I was like, I remember the guy I fought even went up to me. He's like, "Hey, yo, bro, are you okay?"
We like just beat your bad. This is an early match or something.
It was, yeah, I was already like, this was maybe like my 7th fight or something. So I was already kind of like already like deep in the game.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you could take a beat and say.
Yeah, and then I remember like I got up and my ex-girlfriend, or my girlfriend at the time, her mom came to me like with her arms open, like, "Oh my god, I'm so proud of you." She was the first one I saw for some reason. And she gave me a hug, and like I just remember like collapsing in her arms. And then
so depleted.
Yeah, and then like it was just a funny sight that always sticks in my head. Like I wish somebody would have taken a picture of that. That would have been like mother and son.
Right, passed out.
Even though that was like, that wasn't my mom. It was my mother-in-law. So I feel like that was a nice moment between me and her. But anyways, I went into the restroom and then I fucking started throwing my fucking guts out.
Why? Oh, because she was like dizzy, like.
I think I had a concussion. I think that's So I think I had a concussion. I threw up all the food I ate earlier, and then and then after that I like remember walking outside of the bathroom and everyone was like, "Dude, oh my god, you won!" And then I won that fight. Oh. Yeah. I won that fight, but at a fucking cost. I was all fucked up. And the shitty thing was I had to fight again the next day. Because it was a tournament.
I don't know.
Yeah.
See, that's another thing, like, I'm in the hospital that night.
Yeah.
Like, fuck, I'm dead.
So I went the next day and I fought, and then I lost that one because I was like, I was just in no shape to be fighting. Yeah. Like, I was like, I don't even know. Even today, like, I'm like, how the fuck do they do these tournaments? Like, just the one fight is, like, so fucking emotionally draining as it is, to be honest.
I see that.
Yeah.
And it could last, like, really long periods of time.
Like
boxing.
Yeah, I've heard of, like, tournaments being, like, 5 days long. And I'm like...
How long does a match normally last?
So, a normal amateur match is 3 rounds for 3 minutes each.
Oh, I thought it was going to be, like... Until somebody gets knocked out.
No. But fuck, like just imagine like you getting in that ring for you're gonna be dead fucking tired.
Fuck yeah.
It's different when you're fighting somebody. Another human being.
Right, because normally like fights in the street or like in somewhere else are only like maybe 30 seconds.
Yeah.
So that's a long time fighting.
Yeah, 9 whole minutes.
Whatever, it's fun. So if a person gets knocked out in the first minute, the fight's over?
Like, knocked out, like they're unconscious as fuck? Or they're knocked down, like they're on their knee.
What's the difference?
So, A knockdown is basically like, let's say they get punched and they fall on their ass. That would be a knockdown.
What do you mean, like boom, 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 but they're still like awake?
They're still awake. Yeah, they get knocked down on their ass and then they just get back
Yeah.
up. You know, or they'll give them an 8
Well, I mean, a
count.
knockdown, like a
Yeah.
knockout.
A
Then
knockout would be like
the fight's over.
on your back, you're unconscious.
Seeing Tweety Bird.
Yeah, I mean, some people have gotten up, like Tyson Fury. He got up from from something like that.
Mm.
So I think definitely amateurs. If you get knocked out like that, it's over.
Oh, okay, just because like
Yeah,
you ain't
I mean,
famous.
no one's getting paid. No one's getting paid for this shit.
Like to get back up and you could probably die.
Yeah.
I can see that. I ain't getting paid. But and then
A knockdown though,
No, you're not.
you'll get some chances.
we need to find you a match. Let's see you box. But yeah, I don't know. I don't do sports. Like, so who is your favorite? Who do you look to for like career trajectory, stuff like that? Like, how do you model what you want to do after whoever? Is there a person that you look at?
Not any one specifically. Like I take different pieces of everyone's kind of like story and career, and I like to like kind of like go off that.
Yeah.
Like for example, for example, one of my close friends, and I was a sparring partner for a while. I helped him get his world title. Actually, his name's Angelo Leo. He was the former bantamweight champion for the WBO belt, world champion too.
What is bantamweight?
I think that's like the 122 division.
Oh, okay.
And so, definitely with him, like I had known him in the gym and before he had gotten his belt and all that. And I think me and him had moved here to Vegas in the same year in 2017. And so
From Texas.
he came from Albuquerque.
Okay.
So I met him out here.
Okay.
Yeah, but so like with him, he was doing his thing, and he eventually, we got his title shot and then won, and I'm like, that just really puts it into perspective for me, because I'm like, this guy won a whole world title, and
Yeah.
I was his sparring partner, like I know him personally, so it kind of like really puts it into perspective for me that it's not something that's just a dream. Not something that's like far away. It's something
it
that's
can be done.
in my grasp. It's something that can be realistically done. Yeah.
So do you? I know, I don't know how the things are divided. I know that there's amateur wrestling and there's like professional wrestling. When do you cross into that?
Wait, did you mean to say boxing or?
Oh my God, yes, whatever, same thing. But boxing, when does that line, when do you cross that line to say, I'm a professional now, I can get sponsors and blah, 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 like, or is it sectional where it's like amateur, local, state, and then even to the point where it's national amateur, and then when you pass that, that's where you get to professional?
Okay, yeah, no, that's a good question actually. So, I'm just gonna say this off the bat. Anybody can be a professional, anybody can turn professional. The difference is, you're gonna get fucked up if you don't know what you're doing. Like you just get a random guy off the street and he does a professional fight. He's gonna get fucked up.
So maybe the question is, what constitutes an amateur qualification and then a professional qualification? Can you go apply and go fight Mayweather? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like.
So no. So the thing that kind of comes into play is rankings.
Yeah.
So when you fight your first professional fights, and even in amateur fights also, there are rankings. There are rankings in amateur fights once you start fighting at the national level, but in professional side, there's rankings for everybody. So you fight your first 2 fights, you'll be ranked in the world and in the country that you live in.
Yeah.
Yeah. And people like Floyd, he was always like number 1 And to get a fight with him, you're gonna have to go through all kinds of hoops. You're gonna have to fight your way just to get ranked to the top 20. Once you get to the top 20, you'll start doing like title eliminators, and that's if you have like good people around you. And so once you get to those title eliminators, then that's when you get your shot for the title, and that's when you get to the spots of like top 10, top 5, top 3.
So, but you can right now start placing in that ranking.
Oh, since I've sparred world champions. I guess.
Yeah. I don't like. See, I don't like. What I'm saying is. So, what is it called? What's it like the baseball team that's not professional? What is that called? Amateur leagues and stuff like that.
That's so baseball. So right before they turn pro for baseball, that'd be a AAA team. So what I am, yeah. So no, I get it.
This is so.
No. So yeah, I'm amateur still. So for like the amateur circuit, there's amateur, and then you fight like you'd fight like a tournament like Golden Gloves, for example. That starts regionally in your city, and you win that, and then you go to the state level where you fight the best in the state.
Right.
You beat them, and then you go to the national level, and then that's when you start getting ranked.
National, but you're still an amateur wrestling. Okay.
Boxing.
Once you boxing. So, but once you beat, let's say you won a national title, XYZ, and then so the next, do you go up like into the next like qualification, like you said, amateur baseball, A baseball, whatever the fuck you say, in the professional. So once you leave and you won the national title in amateur, do you go to the AAA of boxing?
Oh no! So you just stay at that really high level, like because there's all kinds of people fighting at those high levels. Like you got little kids, you got, and that's how they start. Like like Floyd and all them, they were fighting like national tournaments since they were young, like that, like 9 years old, 10 years old, and so that's why they're so great because people like them have been fighting their whole lives.
So and then the step that he took after he won his national titles and stuff was just to go compete in professional.
Well, no, for him. So what a good amount of people do is they'll fight in national tournaments and they'll do their thing there, and then they'll go to the Olympics if it all lines up for them, like timing and all that. So they'll go to the Olympics and they'll fight there, and someone like Floyd, for example, he didn't even get a gold medal.
Yeah.
He
was in the Olympics?
Yeah, he got a bronze medal. So a lot of these guys that are in the top were in the Olympics for boxing. And so that's the other option. A lot of the time going to the Olympics isn't it just doesn't line up for you, because it'll be like 3 years away and you're already 18. You're not going to wait 3 years. You're still fighting amateur when you can go pro already. So it really just depends on you. Like once you hit 18, that's when you really want to decide, am I going to go pro now, or should I wait maybe a year or two to keep fighting amateurs and go on the Olympics?
So there are professional level tournaments, and you just find them and you apply to be in them.
They're just I wouldn't say they're professional, I would just say they're very high level.
But you can go and be in it though.
See, that's when it's very tricky too. Like what do you mean? Like the national tournaments?
Yeah, like.
Oh yeah, I can fight in a national tournament. Yeah, you can.
So and then when you start to win those is when you get to the TV boxing rings and stuff like that.
Yeah, and even some of those national tournaments are kind of like, well, they're like live streamed and.
Maybe
there's just, it's like with everything. It's like you get to the iceberg and you get these.
It's like so much shit.
There's so much shit at the bottom.
Nah, I'm just like, because I thought that, because when I see boxing on TV, I always think of it as,
the professional guys.
Yeah, like I always think of it as like if I made a football team, my football team can't play against the Raiders no matter what they did. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's like the confusion that I'm getting into. And I feel like boxing is a little bit different than that because you literally can be one person and they kind of like just be good and to the point where you get on TV.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that's how it would work.
Okay, well then that makes a little more sense. That was confusing. Well then, okay, so let's get you into a professional, like, what's the name? Once you met, like, so do you think you could do that? Like, how long do you think it would take you to get to pro?
To pro, I mean, I'm just trying to lose the weight and then I'm gonna jump into pro.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so really, I mean, I've been like fucking up. Like I've been trying to lose this weight since like September, and it's been difficult because I've been like so out of routine. You know,
Yeah.
when I was working at the Cromwell, I would just always go after work, go to the gym,
Right.
eat, and then go run, and then go to sleep, and then do it all over again the next day. And so now I'm like, it's super shitty because now I have all the time in the world.
Right.
I'm like,
Hard to nail it down.
yeah.
What made you actually quit? Like, I know the Forex stuff, but like, you decided you wanted to go to the cage, and then what happened?
So, you know, it was, well, definitely, you know, when I got the job, I was already like, I would say 3 weeks in, and then COVID happened. And, you know, we were home for like 8 months. You know, so then we came back, and I was like, well, I guess, you know, I'll do it. So we came back, and you know, I'm not trying to like throw shade or whatever, but I'm gonna answer these questions as honestly as I can.
Yeah.
You know, no hate to anybody, but you know, I would definitely just say that working at the cage when I came back was like weird, because for one, it was weird just being in that like environment again after being gone for so long. Like I felt like I had already moved on like mentally, and then to just go back, you know, I just had a different, my motivation for being there was different. Like if I had stayed there, like, and COVID never happened, I would have still been working there.
Yeah.
Yeah. But but I just, you know, I had so much time to like think and reflect, you know, during the pandemic and all that. So when I came back, I was kind of like already like whatever, and I was kind of, but I did give it a fair shot. But immediately off the bat, I was only there for 7 days, or 6 days, and immediately off the bat, it was like problems, like, oh my god, like there were like, so they gave me 2 documented coachings in the first 6 days. One because like my shirt wasn't ironed, my black shirt. I'm like, bro, who the fuck's gonna see this black shirt behind this cage thing?
That's the problem of the fucking laundry people.
Yeah, and it's like, I'm like, bro, this is like my first week still, and also because I didn't have all black shoes. I'm like, you guys called me hella last minute. How am I gonna get like a documented coaching? You know. So they were already bitching me for everything, and it was like one of those situations where it was like, no matter what you did, nothing, like you were always gonna be in the wrong for something.
Yeah, especially when I'm sure they had like a whole like, let's get him out of here kind of thing, or like they really was like not on your side. You know what I mean?
Yes, I don't know. I think they actually did need the staffing, but it was just, they tried to pull us back with 3 weeks of training and just throw us back in like whatever, full force. But we were in graveyard, so we kind of had a little bit more like room to breathe.
Yeah.
But still, like we would do like little things here and there, and it was like you were like just like getting attacked. Like, no, what the fuck? Like, don't ever assume that. I'm like, bitch, I didn't assume anything. That's why I asked you.
Exactly.
You know, so it's like no matter what you did, you were in the wrong.
Yeah.
And it was just like that. There's so many other little things too that I was like, oh, what the fuck? So I was like, you know what? Nah, I'm just gonna leave. You know.
That's how I still feel a little bit now. Well, I haven't been to work since like the 10th of January, but I feel like it was definitely because of this whole COVID bullshit that they're trying to like wean out people who won't be there, will be there kind of thing. Because I know a lot of people, once we get back to normal, are not coming back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they're collecting unemployment to the point where they say that we're opening full 100%. It's like, I don't want my job no more.
No.
I know that's going to happen. So I know that it's going to be a whole bunch of stuff changing, but the stuff they're doing now is really frustrating, especially like me, I was on like on call, but you only could turn down 2 shifts. That's only that can happen in a 1 week. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then you don't get called back till we get back to normal, which makes no sense. So I can tell it definitely was some stupid shit going on when we came back. Like,
oh yeah,
and it's still probably going on.
And the thing that pissed me off too was that was just everything going on, like how they rebranded Dre's after hours as a lounge.
Right.
So everybody, you know, they were just trying to flood the club with people.
Yeah.
And I was there during like Halloween weekend, and so people would just be coming. People really didn't give a fuck about masks. And I was like, well,
we gotta tell them to wear this. I'm not fucking doing this shit.
And then we didn't even have like one of those like shields protectors, you know. I was like, what the fuck? We can't even get those. Yeah, so I was like, they don't give a fuck about our health.
I mean, it's so like even just the way that things are going. First of all, everything is open if you really think about it, and if you look at the like those charts and those papers that says the maximum amount of people that can be in a place. I was in Olive Garden the other day. And it said 85 people maximum. Even if 85 people were in there, let's just say 40 people had COVID, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I know.
Or if 2 people had it, it still doesn't matter. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so it makes no sense. Like, all this shit is, like, it's pointless.
And I kept asking them, I was like, so what if, like, I get COVID from somebody here? Like, I was like, so what if somebody coughs on me and then I get COVID?
Or if somebody coughed on their chips and I fucking catch their chips out.
And they didn't have an answer for that. They were just like, oh, wow, you still get your 10 weeks paid sick leave. And I'm like, the fuck? Like, you guys have no real answer for that.
That makes no sense. I don't know. I do hope it goes to normal though. But you're done. What do you, if like, once everything goes back to normal, do you plan to get another job or you want to stay with the Forex?
Well, nah, I've been applying already. So, yeah.
You should apply to the bar departments, places.
Well, I don't know. Can I even work at Caesars since I quit like on the spot? I was like, no.
That I don't think so.
Is it like a year or I'm just done?
They do have I think they have a time frame where you can apply, but I think you can. That's not like Walmart.
Yeah, I just started applying at like MGM for like basic stuff like security. Or I kind of wanted to get like an ADR because I'm like, oh, that sounds just hella easy, and I'm already at 100% for the fucking union. I'll get my money.
Right.
No.
Oh, that does still carry over. Yeah, I would apply that. Do like the bar departments. I know that a lot of places, especially once everything opens back up, all of the restaurants and bars and stuff, they're going to be hiring. Like I already know that even the people that work at my job now, it's going to be some movement, some way, somehow.
Yeah, I did apply to be a bar back and stuff like that. So hopefully, but I'm actually going to be doing something this summer. I'm going to be doing like pest control in Atlanta.
You should like being there the whole summer?
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna be there by April 1st till August 31st.
What is going on with your lease?
Well,
that.
No, our lease is gonna end in March.
What are you gonna do?
Well, I'm gonna be in Atlanta.
How dare you?
Yeah, no. I don't even know. I'm like, I hope my mental health will let me fucking be there.
Atlanta's nice. You ever been there?
No, you have.
You may like it.
Oh yeah. Is it super humid in the summer?
Oh yeah. I like that though. Maybe because my reason for it is different. I like to grow plants, and it's so hard to grow stuff here.
Are you recording?
Yeah, I mean, you can come out again.
I can't stay stuck in that room then.
We're live on Twitch though.
I know, they're all watching.
There wasn't nobody watching though. It's like us just watching our own shit.
Well, okay.
You're not even on the camera. I can't see you.
Yeah, you can. He's look on this one.
Oh, he is?
Look on this one.
Oh.
No.
No, well, it's because I'm looking right there.
Oh, because it's like that is like right here.
Oh, okay. What were we talking about?
Moving to Atlanta. It's not bad. I like it.
Yeah, because you said you like planning.
So yeah, like stuff like that, because plants will drop so fast. They'll be over there, they'll just be like booming.
Yeah.
But other than that, but why there? Like, why go?
Oh, That's just because they go to different spots in the summer. Like last summer they were in Colorado.
Okay.
Yeah, I think they were there for a couple of years. So I think this is like their new like location that they got,
Mhm.
their new office in Atlanta. So hopefully it works out.
That's a real funny part.
Because I mean, here in Vegas, there's not really like that big.
It's not
of a
at all.
problem. I mean,
There's like none really,
yeah.
besides fucking roaches.
Especially in the summer.
Yeah, other than roaches, there's no bugs here.
Yeah.
Like, unless you go to like certain places, you'll find like mosquitoes at like Lake Mead randomly.
Yeah.
But interesting. But I think I'm gonna end it. I'm gonna leave a little thing. I'm gonna make something real quick.
How long have we been going for?
An hour.
Oh, okay, nice.
Well, 55 minutes.
55
Yeah.
minutes.
I like when even these little moments where it's like just like talking about the idea of what's going on. I like these when I hear it. But all right, Jason. I do want to say thank you to my guest, Jason. They could be. What do you have any like boxing pages, anything like that, where people can find you, follow you, make you famous?
You can definitely follow me on my Instagram. I'm trying to post a lot more boxing content on
You
there.
should.
It's J_BIZZLE, J Bizzle.
J Bizzle.
You can follow me on there. Go ahead and definitely give my boy Angelo Leo a follow on Instagram. You'll be able to find him somehow. Just type in Angelo
Yeah.
Leo.
Well, does he live here?
He lives here in
Well, we
Vegas.
should get him on one day.
Yeah, we definitely should. Yeah.
But yeah, all right. But Jason, I do hope you all enjoyed our discussion on boxing and foreign exchange market trading. But I hope you have a great day. This is Virtual Reality, and we are signing off. Oh, what's on? This stopped recording.
Did it?
I don't know. Well, I got 48 minutes. It didn't hit the closing. I didn't hear where that
Oh
ended.
no.
Whoa, that was like. That was a lot of talking. That was